Welcome, everybody, to Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. This is the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's the radio digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette and free classifieds for all you need to know to be in the know. John?
Welcome back, Doug.
I haven't been here for a while.
I know, it's been a long time.
How'd it go?
We came up with some interesting New Year's resolutions for you.
For me?
Yeah, well, we came up with a different name for the show. It was the John Hour that I sometimes talk about the Gazette with a guest. But
So
it's good to have you back.
It's kind of mutiny.
Yeah, it was a little mutiny there, but it was good to have you back.
Well, it's glad to be back.
So you're all rested and recuperated from your
Ready to
vacation?
go. Ready to go, yeah.
Brand new year, getting ready to be aggravated, and obviously people can read your rant in the Gazette.
Yeah. Now, when I took English in college, here's one thing I learned. You don't use the word aggravated in place of irritation. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Aggravated means to make worse.
Okay.
Somewhere along the line in the American language, it was substituted for the word irritation, and it's not grammatically correct.
Well, technically, if we're sitting here saying you're in a fine mood, and we want to aggravate your mood, we're making your mood worse.
There you go.
That's what I've been talking about.
And now that you brought that up, we got the world. The world is burning. Not literally, but we got terrorist attack. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Russia's making noise, China. And what's our president talking about? More sick time for people. He wants free junior college for people.
That's true. Did you know in 1954 the first shopping mall opened?
I don't care about 54.
Okay. 55. I'm sorry. 55. 1955, the first shopping mall opened.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah.
It seems like it would open soon. What does that have to do with what's going on?
I just did some research. I was doing some research for today's show.
Anyway, I can't believe that he is so concerned about this mamby-pamby, fluffy stuff when they're and then this terrorist stuff. You know, I don't want to.
Well, yeah, but my research, it was interesting to notice the first nuclear sub was commissioned in 1955. Seriously, the USS Trident.
In 55?
55. Same time RCA came out with the first color TV, 1955. It was 12 and a half inches long or wide, and it cost $1,000. Like $1,000 in 1955.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. The really cool part about 1955 was the first Baltimore Orioles game. They lost to Detroit 3-0.
That was the first year of their existence?
First year of their existence.
I think I'm seeing a trend here.
1955, they broke the Burger King. First Burger King opened in 1955. Sports Illustrated, the first time Sports Illustrated published a magazine in 1955.
Wow. I don't want to know how many years ago 1955 was.
Should we tell you? Because I could probably do the math.
What?
Do you want to tell everybody why we're doing 1955?
I was born in 1955.
Yeah.
Is that why you're coming up with all this stuff? I'm sitting here talking about important stuff that's happening right now. Our country's on fire. The president's whacked, and we got all kinds of problems.
You know the president was in 1955?
Yeah, I do know.
Who?
Dwight Eisenhower.
He said we weren't going to get involved in Vietnam, and then we're pledged support for South Vietnam.
How'd that
got
work
us all involved. Yeah, that got us involved. So. All right, going back to what you were ranting about. Go ahead, rant. It's your birthday.
No, go ahead. You got any other tidbits?
No. Well, it's the first time there was a 24-second clock in pro basketball.
Seriously. What was it before that? No second clock?
No clock at all.
So they could keep the ball forever?
They keep the ball forever. Elvis Presley had his first hit.
Yeah. I thought that was in the 40s.
No.
Man.
That's really a long time ago, isn't it?
Okay, what else?
6 years.
Let's get this over with.
What's your earliest memory, Doug?
My
Fire?
earliest memory.
Fire?
Fire?
The wheel?
Wow. No, my earliest memory is it's boring. Why do you want boring stuff? We're trying to make this exciting radio.
Okay, so what's the best thing about being 60?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
It's only been 3 days, and I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I don't know. It just sounds old.
Well, it is.
I'm old enough to be Peter's father here.
I respect my elder.
That would be grandfather. Okay.
My dad's older than you.
Oh, good.
See?
I feel
My
better.
dad's born 53.
There you go.
But the good thing is, lots of friends, all my high school buddies, right?
Yeah.
Each month that goes by, they all fall into the same category. Boom, boom.
I'll
boom.
fall into that category in about 8-9 years, Doug. Just saying.
It'll go fast.
So, all right.
trust
So,
me.
did you have a good birthday? Did your wife do something nice for you, at least?
It's tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We
And
can't
everybody's
talk about
invited?
it. No. And then after tonight, we're forgetting all about it, and life goes on.
Oh,
right?
so and life goes on, and your life is miserable because of Obama.
No,
Full circle.
It's not miserable because of Obama. It's what he's doing to the economy, to businesses. Do you know that 2 out of 3 people in the United States feel that we're still in a recession? That's what they feel of their economic situation for their families. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, John.
What does that tell you?
We're still in a recession.
No, that people in the United States aren't very smart about what a recession is.
Well, they're saying they're personal recession.
And if they're not better off, that's going to be the question.
The thing.
That's going to be the question during the. Ronald Reagan once said, "Ask yourself, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Okay.
If the answer is no, vote for me."
Right.
We need a candidate who's going to say that.
Right. And
it's
give reasons how he's going to change it.
And the problem is it's going to be a crowded Republican field.
Yes,
And
I'm concerned about that. Wait, it could be 20?
Oh,
20 folks? It's
20,
unbelievable.
it's ridiculous.
And what happens is they're going to beat each other up. And what's bothering me is the two leaders of the pack, Mitt Romney and Jeb Bush, who probably have the name recognition, are the ones that are able to raise the most money.
It's the money. It's the money.
It's follow the money.
All the money. And those guys are going to outspend and outraise everybody.
And then liberal Republicans right now are driving me just as much nuts as the president and liberal lefties.
We'll get into that. with
right.
our national correspondent.
Okay.
See, it's like a birthday present, isn't it? We can see.
I feel better now.
You feel better?
Everything. It's all good.
It's all good. All right. You listen to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We'll be right back.
We do need to know. Sorry, John.
No, it's good to have you back.
I have to use the song. Anyway, folks, you're listening to Santa Cruz hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. It is the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. After a couple weeks' absence, I'm back here with my buddy John for the Gazette Radio Hour, the radio digest version of the Santa Cruz Gazette and Free Classifieds, for all you need to know to be in the know.
Wow. You know, we were talking last week about New Year's resolutions, Doug.
I hate New Year's resolutions.
I know. And well, I know you weren't going to come up with one, so our guest host, Alan Ferdman, and I came up with one for you.
What's that?
We decided that you should stop smoking.
I've never smoked in my life.
Congratulations, man. You hit your New Year's resolution.
All right.
It's what? The 13th, 12th, 13th, 15th, whatever it is. But you didn't even make it through the first month of the year, and you've already made your New Year's resolutions.
All right,
Congratulations.
I'm in.
See?
How about you? I bet you have some habits you need to change.
Like what?
I don't know.
Now I got to think.
But I got a guy that could help you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's on the line with us.
Uh-oh.
He's from Invisible Touch Therapy, Mr. Patrick Biswell. Patrick, are you with us? Patrick, are you there?
Uh-oh. Gee, I know my New Year's resolution would be to get somebody on the phone when they're supposed to be there. No, but I don't know. To me, well, now you got me worried. What habits do you think I really need to? I don't know. What habits do you think I need to change? I work out. I eat healthy. I try to take care of myself.
How does it work out for you?
So far, so good. Now you got me concerned. So you didn't make any New Year's resolutions at all?
No, just some business stuff, some goals set out business-wise.
Oh, right, so you sit there with your business?
I hadn't worked out for a while, over the holidays, so I got to get back into that.
Back to the gym, okay.
Is he there?
All right.
Patrick, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Are you
All
okay?
right.
Are you okay, Patrick?
I'm fine.
Okay.
The call was dropped, nothing here.
Oh. Anyway.
No, I just mean I didn't drop anything.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good to go.
All right. Again, folks, it's Patrick Biswell with Invisible Touch Therapy, and his motto for his business is saving the world one bad habit at a time. Is that correct, Patrick?
That's absolutely correct. 2 is just, it's too much.
There you go. So what's the worst habits that you see? I mean, do people, I was joking with Doug earlier. I told him he needed to quit smoking. He doesn't smoke. He never has. I never smoked. I never have. Do people still smoke? I mean, my gosh, with all that stuff out there, how bad it is?
Actually, they do, and the ones that I find that are still smoking are terrible chain smokers. I don't mean terrible, but I mean they're, it's a very ingrained habit with them. You get to the nicotine addiction and all that, but by and large, it's a habit that they've been doing for a very long time, and it even has emotional associations.
Wow.
I personally smoked for 10 years, and I went it alone on a New Year's Eve, bet. which is another thing about New Year's Eve. People will say anything on New Year's Eve.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's on to me.
Exactly. So,
Right.
so is that the biggest one that is that the biggest bad habit that you deal with nowadays?
No, there's all sorts of terrible things. I mean, if they're life-threatening and antisocial, then obviously I would want to refer them out to maybe somebody that could get them on some medications.
Right.
But I mean, just things that are not, and I have to kind of qualify that. There are really no bad habits, unless, of course, you are a terrorist. Then there's really just habits that don't benefit you anymore. You know, you've been doing them for so long, you must. It's easier to keep doing it.
Exactly.
You know, they don't benefit you at all anymore.
So, Patrick, tell us a little bit about your practice and what techniques you use to help get rid of these bad habits.
I use a number of different modalities. Hypnosis is the basis for all of this. And hypnosis, it's not all grass skirts and chicken bones like it used to be, or like people used to think it was. But really, all that is just a heightened sense of both relaxation and focus. You know, you get your cognitive factor, the thing that says, well, I like that, or I don't like that, or that's good, or that's not good. You know, your reasoning, your logic. And you kind of get that to take 5 while you talk to the subconscious, the 5-year-old that's driving your bus. Right. You know, and if it makes sense to that, to your subconscious, then it's easier for you to absorb and to help change that. I also use NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It's basically talking to the mind in the language of the mind. But it's mostly that can be done cognitively. I use dream therapy. I use therapeutic imagery. You can even change habits, smaller ones, with changing your handwriting.
Really?
Yeah. There are actually large corporations that when they are going through a hiring process, they will get a handwriting sample and have that looked over to see if that person's going to be a good fit for whatever they're going to put them in, or if they're not going to turn out to be some huge embezzler down the road.
Wow.
Or something like that.
So if Patrick, if one comes to you with these bad habits, or if they need to change something in their life, do you evaluate, obviously, and then decide which technique you're going to use?
Yeah, I will usually do a consult with them, and consultations are at no cost to anyone. That's why I can decide at that point if there's something they really want to do, or if they're doing it just because they've been nagged into seeing me. Or if I can't help them, I'll tell them right off the bat. I just want to make sure that we're a good fit and they understand what the procedures are. It's not a magic bullet. You do have to put into the program to get something out of it.
What type of things do you actually help people with? I know, obviously, the bad habits of smoking. Weight loss, you see a lot of that?
There's smoking. There's weight loss. A lot of those don't really come to fruition. Sometimes I have to let those people go, right? Because they come and they say, well, I've done everything else. Let's see if this works. And that just means that they're, again, looking for that magic bullet.
Right, yeah. It's unrealistic.
What about substance abuse problems?
Those, yes. It depends on the substance. I mean, if it's a hardcore type of pharmaceutical thing, then maybe those people need to be watched a little more closely and need to be on some sort of medication to keep them stable. And in that respect, I would take kind of a complementary role with something else that they're doing.
Gotcha.
As far as some of the other stuff goes, I have a program called the Virtual Gastric Band Program, and that's for weight management as well. Mm-hmm. And that's very interesting because, I can walk you through the procedure of having a lap band installed.
Oh, wow.
It's not actually done. I mean, I don't really do that in my office.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
It'd be very messy. But it has all the same attributes of having that installed, except there's no downtime, there's no recovery time, there's no discomfort or anything.
Wow, and you've had success with that?
Yes. Actually, it works amazingly well.
Wow. So, Patrick, how do people get in touch with you if they're interested in that consult?
Well, they can go to my website, which is www.invisibletouch.com. They can call me directly at 661-755-0129. And those are the best ways, actually.
All right. Sounds good. I'm sure Doug will be in touch with you after the show.
Yeah, Patrick, my wife says I never listen to her. Can you help me with that?
You should send your wife in. Maybe she needs to talk about her.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry. Were you speaking, Doug? I'm sorry.
Wow. I think we should send Doug's wife in. See, I can say that. Doug can't. He's just got to politely laugh.
She's probably listening.
All right. Patrick Biswell from Invisible Touch Therapy. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Have
for
a
your
great
time,
day.
Patrick.
All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We come back, national correspondent time, so we can get this stuff off your chest,
Let's
Doug?
do it.
All right.